All right, hey guys. I am going over my missed opportunity on UAMM. I was watching this pretty much all day. Let's see. I think I started watching it out of its consolidation here at like 6-0, and I missed the breakout here. Could have played it, should have played it, would have played it, but it was a good lesson. It was confirmation by volume increase, everything like that. It was just there was so many plays going on. Today was a really good market. It's March 15th, 2021. So today was a really good market. It had its ups and downs, but it ended strong, and that's what this play was for me. So this one was strong pretty much all day. If I would have bought at this volume, if I would have saw it, I would have gotten this breakout, and it would have been solid. But what I want to talk about is my missed opportunity here, right here at about 340, real close to close. So we're in power hour at this point, and when the afternoon lull was happening, everything was kind of consolidating. I made a plan of all the tickers that I was watching going into afternoon, and UAMM was one of them, just because it's a technology sector. Also has to do with like weed and everything. So it's a hot sector. So you got a hot sector in a hot market, and it was a big first green day. Had a little bit of run up, red day consolidation. So you've got a beautiful daily chart to me. And I said earlier today, I think this is going to be a first green day going into a second green day, like without a doubt. And I think that's exactly what we're going to have happen tomorrow. But depending on the market, we'll see if it can hold green. But I was like, this is just a really strong player, like great sector, great daily, and a really strong day. So as we were getting into the consolidation, just kind of lull of the afternoon, I made a plan for this, that if it was proving itself in power hour, that I was going to play it. So my goal right here was, we had a pretty good channel between VWAP and high of day. So what I was going to do is I had a trigger set at 957 was my trigger, right where this line is. And I actually had, let me pull it up. Well, it's all, everything's signed out, but I had my E-Trade ready, and I was going to get 4,100 shares, which would be like a $400 position, is what I was going to buy at this trigger point, which would have been great. Like, I just thought it was solid in anticipation for the breakout coming in. My mistake was I got distracted when this was all happening, and this was a very fast move where it broke my trigger point, and I was literally distracted for 30 seconds just focusing on something else, and I missed this play. But the thing that was, so lesson number one for me, and I think this is really important, is stay focused on the tickers that you believe are going to run. Stay focused on the times of the market that are important and known to be more volatile. So if you've got the first hour of the market, if you've got the last hour of the market, everybody knows that's power hour, and everybody knows that you need to be focused during that time. So lesson number one for me was stay focused, don't get distracted, and don't take your eyes off the ball. I was looking at other tickers, and I just wasn't completely focused, and I missed the move. It's really fast, and that's how it happens. And if I would have been focused, I would have seen this volume increase. I would have seen level 2, and I would have been able to get in right at my trigger point. Second lesson that I needed to learn was remember the big picture. The big picture on this plan for me was to buy a high of day break. That was the whole goal of this plan, was a high of day break in power hour and see how high it could run. But I got so focused on my trigger point, that 959, 957, that I forgot the big picture was a high day. The whole point of me getting in at this point, at this trigger here, was that I had some cushion for high of day, so that once, if the trade was successful, it broke high of day, then I could risk my entry and this previous consolidation. So my plan was to risk my entry, and then once it broke high of day, I would have adjusted risk if I needed to high of day, right here. But I didn't need to do that, obviously. But my fault was when it ran past my trigger here really fast. I was so like distraught and upset by the fact that my trigger had been blown and I didn't get in, that I forgot to think about the big picture, which was the high day break. And a friend of mine, Xander, he actually said, why don't you just get in here at the consolidation of high of day? And the reality is 110% I should have done that. But I was so focused on, damn, I missed my trigger. I missed, it had already, it was like 6% something from, yeah. So it was like 6%. And so I was like, oh, 6% from where I should have entered. Am I chasing it? But the reality was I wasn't chasing it. I just lost the big picture, which was this high of day happening right here. That was my point right here. That was the whole goal, was to get this high of day break. And I got so focused on the fact that it ran past my original trigger that I forgot my bigger picture, my goal. And so I should have bought into this high of day right here, but I didn't. I could have bought any time between my trigger point and between high of day, but I just, I wasn't focused in on it. So, and then you can see here, once the high of day, it consolidated and it successfully did another breakout, another consolidation, and then continued to run. I would have held through all of this. If I had breakout level, I would have kept my entry or my original trigger here as my risk level. So during this consolidation here, I would have held through that. During this consolidation, of course, I would have held, just because we're in power hour. We've got increasing volume, hot sector, a lot of eyes on this as market close. So any type of consolidation like that, you would want to hold through, because you've got a lot of reasons that this should go up. You've got a lot of reasons that this should go green. So I would have held through both of these consolidations. And then I was considering, ride this up as high as possible into close and just sell as soon as possible. But as you can see, it pulled back here. You had a little bit of a drop off its highs. So lesson number 3 would be sell into strength. Everybody says this, but it's so important, is to sell into strength. So if I was doing a good trade right here, I probably should have sold into this green candle, into this green candle. Either of those would have been really good exits that I was selling into strength. Anywhere, of course, this is great profit, but that would have been a very clear, very strong exit. So you don't want to wait for the chart to start to go against you. You don't want to wait for things to start to go red before you decide to get out. Oftentimes it's good to lock in those gains, lock in the profit, and to sell into strength when you can easily get in and out. So don't get so greedy with the percentage. Don't get so greedy with the dollar that you hold through when you shouldn't. And there was no key levels of any type of support. So it wasn't like, oh, well, I'm holding for support. It's like, no, you're just holding. So, again, to recap is stay focused. Don't lose focus in important times of the market or in an powerful stock. Number 2, remember the big picture. Don't lose what your original plan was. Don't lose what you think that this stock, the potential of this, can do. And then number 3 is just to sell into strength. Don't get greedy. Don't get big eyes, and lock in your profits, lock in your goals when you can. So this was about $150 loss for me, or not loss, but potential gain that I didn't get. So it was painful, but it was a good lesson. A lot of lessons were learned. So I hope this this helps you guys. If you need any type of specific things looked at, if you got strategies or questions, let me know and I can respond to those. But for now, this is just kind of a record for myself, a missed opportunity on UAMM. Don't forget the lessons. Don't forget the basics. Sell into strength and play the patterns that you know. And with that, I think you're going to be pretty consistently profitable. So hope this helps you out, and I'll see you next recap.